Hello, welcome back. I am Bekah Jo, aka the Makeup Tax Lady. Today, I just wanted to talk about a couple items that I just picked up. So I just went to TJ Maxx and I've been seeing some Pat McGrath Labs items available at TJ Maxx and haven't yet pulled the trigger on any of them. I saw a couple new items today and I did pick them up. So I wanted to do a little first impressions of these items with you. They are not new to the market, but if you're like me and you try to avoid paying full price for any makeup products, and sometimes new makeup is exciting even if it's just new to you and not new to everyone else, then please join me on this little adventure today and let's see what we can come up with. So I want to open these products with you, put them on my face, and then we'll kind of just gather our thoughts and opinions and see what we think of them. So today I picked up Pat McGrath Labs Sublime Skin Highlighting Trio. This was available at TJ Maxx for $24.99, which I think is a great deal. I think this has been out for quite a few years now, so it's certainly not new. But like I said, I'm okay saving a little money, waiting a little bit of time to get a deal and still be excited by something. The other item that I picked up is Pat McGrath Labs Divine Rose Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden. So both of these, oh, and this was also $24.99. So both of these are still packaged, sealed. We've still got the security sticker on both of them. So I just realized that the tape on this one has been torn open. So if the product inside looks like it's been tampered with, I probably won't be using it. We'll see how that goes. I realized that purchasing things like makeup products from TJ Maxx, that's always a risk, and I just didn't look closely enough to see that this was still taped shut. So let's get into these products and see what we're working with today. Let's go ahead and start by opening the eyeshadow quad. Okay, so here we've got the packaging. We've still got the sticker on the front. Here on the back, looks like there's a replacement sticker over the back. That could be for a variety of reasons. It is a Pat McGrath sticker, but it's covering up something that was there previously. Here's the inside of the palette. Hopefully that's focusing. So I see maybe a little nick in this shade and in this shade. I'm okay with it. We'll go ahead and use it. I am a fan of pinky shades, so I think this was a really pretty palette. I also like the black lacquer packaging. I don't know if this is exactly the same as the full 10-pan motherships. I've never had my hands on those. I like the look of them. I like the luxurious feeling. And so I do think that this feels luxurious. So we'll be putting these on the eyes. This box had not been previously opened. I double checked. This is a cardboard packaging. So we've got the details on the palette on the front here. Not sure that you'll be able to read that. And then we've got the 3 shades here on the back. No replacement sticker on this guy. This is just part of the cardboard packaging. Open it up. We've got our 3 intense, beautiful highlighters here. And I'm excited to give these a whirl. I want to go ahead and peel this sticker off the front. Ooh, how satisfying. Okay, I just added some eyeshadow primer. Real quick before we start putting these on the eyes, I want to go ahead and do some swatches. Here are the beautiful 4 shades from Eternal Eden. I do like this color story. I think it's really pretty in that you can put any 2 shades together and come up with a really pretty look. You can of course do one and dones, you can use all 4, but I think it's a very pretty color story combination of shades. So I am starting with this nice pinky matte. We're gonna run that through the crease and then blend it up a bit. Okay, I blended that out to the intensity that I would like. Sometimes things don't look as blended on camera as they do in person. I'm filming with my back camera today instead of my front camera, so hopefully that helps a little bit. We'll find out in the editing process, but next I'm going to take this beautiful mauve-y mid-tone shade down here. I'm gonna work this a little bit deeper into the crease. I just wiped off that brush on my little shade switch here. I'm gonna go back into the pinkier shade and blend that out just a little bit more. Using this more mauve-y shade, I feel like it really toned down the pink. This is still a pink look, don't get me wrong, and it may be too pink for you if you don't enjoy very pink looks. But this definitely toned down the brightness of that pink. And I think if you have this palette, or if you're looking at this palette but you're not sure that you would use the brighter pink, I definitely think you can get away with the more mauve-y pink in creating your looks. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this deeper shimmer shade, and I think I want to put it all over the lid, and then we'll use the brighter, lighter pink shade on the inner corner, and then maybe also a little bit over the center of the lid. I'm going to use my finger to do all of this. This shade is so very pretty. Okay, before we go in with the highlighter trio, I want to add just a little pop of this brighter pink on the cheeks. I'm going to use a decently fluffy brush to attempt this. So I like a punchier blush, but I tried to go very subtle to show that it doesn't have to be, even though it's a brighter pink color, it doesn't have to be an incredibly bright blush if you go in very softly with a fluffier brush. Okay, now let's take a look at the highlighter trio. My fingers are a little bit stained. You know what, let's swatch with the other hand. Oh, these are very silky smooth. These are really fun shades. So we've got iridescent pink, fine gold, and bronze nectar. Hopefully you can see them. They can be very subtle. I think that this is going to be a really pretty formula that can be very soft, or you can build it up quite a bit. As you can imagine, bronze nectar is going to be a bit dark for my skin tone as a highlighter, but that's okay. And especially because I was able to pick this up on a deal, it doesn't bother me so much that one shade won't work as a highlighter for me. Okay, I want to dip into iridescent pink to use that as my highlighter. And I'll probably, because we're just playing here, I'll probably put iridescent pink on one side and then put fine gold on the other side, just so that we can kind of see the contrast of how they appear on the face. That is really cool. I hope that's picking up. Okay, now going in with the gold shade on this side. I think this side's picking up a little bit more texture, and it could just be the color kind of contrast with my own skin tone a little bit. I just built that up a little bit more. Hopefully you can see that it's pulling a little bit on my skin texture. It's not the end of the world, it's all right. But this side is very smooth. Like, that is a super smooth texture. And you can kind of see it in the pans too. that this pink is definitely looks more smooth, but you can see a little bit more texture coming through on the gold shade. I can't be stopped. This bronze shade, I do want to try this. Maybe I'll try it like up here on my hairline. I'm wiping off my brush in between swatches, by the way. Yeah, so this shade has a little bit of kind of a PC gold to it. It's more than I would like to wear as a highlighter on a day-to-day basis. It's pretty, it's pretty. I'm most impressed, probably evident, I'm most impressed by this pink shade. I think that's really fun. Okay, I'm gonna go add some mascara and I'll be right back and we can talk final thoughts. Here is the final look with mascara. I think it turned out really pretty. Like I've said, I enjoy pink or mauve-y eyeshadow looks. So I was excited to see this one available at TJ Maxx. I do think that the shades in here are really pretty. I also think that because the mattes are different enough, you can really come up with a few different looks for this palette. That said, it's still a quad. So if you're a person who likes variety like I am, it will be limiting just by its nature of it only being 4 shades. I think that the formulas in here are really pretty. I'm bummed that I picked up a package that was already opened. If you're shopping at like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, that type of store, I would encourage you to do what I did not and just make sure that the package has not been opened before you purchase it. Or if it has been opened, check and make sure that it doesn't look like it's been tampered with. I think shopping at those stores can be just real hit or miss. I do think the formulas in here are nice, so I will keep using this. I'll keep playing with it. Let me know if you have this palette or if you're keeping an eye out for it at your local store. On the Sublime Skin highlighting trio, I think this is really pretty too. I'm most excited by this first shade, this pink shade. The other shades are pretty, but they're not quite as exciting to me. I do have a shade by Sydney Grace, a highlighter shade, that's kind of similar. Let me go grab that and we can compare. This is Sydney Grace's shade Pink Mist. I very much enjoy Sydney Grace's highlighter formula, so I have quite a few of them. This shade I think has a bit more of a white base to it, but all in all, they do have some similarity. So hopefully you can see, here's the Sydney Grace Pink Mist and here's Iridescent Pink by Pat McGrath. There's a little bit more hair underneath the Sydney Grace swatch if it looks more textured. But the Pat McGrath highlighter shade really is smooth. The Sydney Grace definitely has more of a white base, which works on my skin tone just fine. Keep that in mind based on where your skin tone is. I definitely prefer a more smooth highlighter, so that's another reason why I'm most interested in the pink from Pat McGrath. I think it is the least textured of those 3, and then plus it being pink, again, pink works well for me. So I'll be curious to keep playing with this palette. I don't know how long I'll keep it in my collection, but I was excited to see it at the store and I'm glad that I picked it up to give it a try. I had never tried any of the face products by Pat McGrath before, so I was happy to get my hands on these to try them out. I have seen another like single-sized, like a single pan highlighter product at Pat McGrath. I think that was at Marshalls. Yeah, so if you're looking, I've seen this and this. I've also seen a few of her 6 pans that came out last year. So I think like Iconic Infatuation, Velvet Liaison, and maybe a third one that I've seen at the local stores. I've also seen, I believe it's Celestial Divinity. It's a large holiday palette. And I've considered picking that one up, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'm curious, do you guys have any of those? Would you recommend any of them? I have avoided picking up any of the 6-pan palettes because I have a great collection of neutral mattes from Sydney Grace. As you probably know if you've ever been on my channel before, I'm a huge Sydney Grace fan. So I just haven't picked up any of those 6 pans from Pat McGrath because they do all lean more neutral. Nothing wrong with that, just kind of where I'm at with what I own and what I want to spend my money on. Meanwhile, the larger holiday palette, that one intrigues me a little bit more because the mattes in there are all over the place color-wise, which I think is really cool, really fun. but I think all of the shimmers are still very neutral. So kind of on the fence about that one. I'll keep my eye out. Maybe one of these days I'll snag that one too, and I can do a video for you on that if you would like. Also, those 6-pan palettes and the holiday palette, while the packaging is very pretty, it's not the like luxe packaging that I would love to have from Pat McGrath without paying the price for it. So that's another reason that I was more interested in this quad than in any of the other products that I had seen. So yeah, I'm happy I picked these up. Like I said, I'll be playing around with them, and then probably at some point I won't be reaching for them anymore, and I'll be happy to resell them on probably Mercari. So yeah, let me know if you have either of these, if you've ever tried them before, if you're seeing any of these palettes at your local TJ Maxx and you recommend me pick up any of them, please let me know. I'd be curious to hear what you think. Are you a Pat McGrath fan? Have you been there, done that? Are you over it? Are you totally into it? Are you like me and you're interested if you can find it for a deal, but otherwise probably gonna pass? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you around next time. Thanks.